Alright, guys, come in, pull up a chair, grab some coffee. We've got a CWL recap on Just Ordinary placing 5th for the June 2019 series. Alright, guys, this is going to be a long one. We're looking at about 50 minutes, but I'm here and I'm going to make it fun, entertaining, and we're going to have a ball doing it, alright? So we placed 5th this CWL. We did a ton of triples. I believe the count was 33 in total. And this was the league we got put into, and this was the first war. We ended up with 4-1 triples. You know, all of these guys were actually extremely tough clans. This was actually a harder bracket. They weren't anyone that we knew within the U.S., but they were all basically clans like Turkish or Iran or some other ones. But I mean, we had a extremely fun and tough bracket, and we're extremely proud of how we performed, and hoping we can say we went to Poland again. Starting it off, we have got Zeus, and he's going to be doing a queen charge with a jump spell. Now, this is something that you don't see a lot of, but it's definitely for the highest tier of players, right? So he used the funnel with a baby dragon and then the king. Notice there was a lava CC, which means he's going to bring in a couple minions in that poison spell to make sure that those lava pups don't take out that enemy, or the charging queen and the healers. From there, this queen has just got so much value in that whole center compartment. You know, like the Lalo starts at about the 10 o'clock and goes clockwise around that outside ring of defenses. You know, you hear me say that a lot. And that queen is just in the center there taking out, I mean, there's so many structures that she has reach of, and I mean, it's just perfect. And, you know, if you guys watch my videos, you know when I say, if that siege machine lasts until the end of the raid without being deployed, you did it right. You are just OP, and Zeus, I'm telling you right now, you are OP right there, my friend. That was an extremely good attack. Now, next up, we've got the Almighty Goblin. Now, you guys, I'm sure, know him from, I don't know, maybe the CWL qualifier in Poland. He was one of the few people that got sent to the Katowice qualifier in Poland, and he did, I mean, we're extremely proud of our team that went to Poland, and you know, hopefully one of these days there'll be some more of us going. And he's just going to be doing a P.E.K.K.A. Bobat, and or you know P.E.K.K.A. I don't know, smash, or you know, there's a whole bunch of different sayings for it, but I'm sticking with what I call it, right? And that's the P.E.K.K.A. Bobat. And he basically had an extremely powerful kill squad that was able to get into the core there. And then from there, the bats were deployed at about the 10 o'clock again, going clockwise. You know, the perfect, absolutely perfect free spells. And these bats were able to stay alive. You know, that wizard tower getting distracted at the very end on that kill squad. And then I mean, look at that. Is that 5 P.E.K.K.A.s left standing? And an ice golem? Grand Warden full health? I mean, oh my gosh. Let's roll in the triples with that, huh? That was insane. Alright, moving on to the next one. Look at these time fails. If you saw that, Zeki Chan had a 90%. And here we have, you know, Liam. Oh man, Liam. He has been one of the most featured people on my channel, I feel. Putting in triples on every single war, CWL, it's just unstoppable. So he's going to be doing a queen charge, well, a queen walk into a queen charge, and he's used those funnel troops, you know, a couple baby dragons, a couple other troops to get that funnel proper for that queen charge and that kill squad to go directly into that town hall compartment. Now that is just perfect, because if you look at the center of this base, there's a moat that divides this base. So why would you not want to put your queen in the center of that moat, right? And then that queen is just going to reach and destroy all the defenses and structures that can be reached from that middle moat. I mean, what a base, right? What a base. And what an attack, you know. I hate saying that it's a poor base, because I don't want it to diminish the fact of how excellent the attack actually was. And in this case, it was an extremely well thought out P.E.K.K.A. Bobat, and that queen walk into that charge, you know, that requires a ton of skill, and Liam is here to show us what that ton of skill is like. I mean, just OP. Now we've got Panda. This is another one of the people who, Panda Cubbin, and he actually was in Poland with the JO team. And I think he had the first triple there. I'm actually pretty sure he had the first triple there. And yeah, he's just rolling. He's so knowledgeable on these attacks. And, like for myself, he helped me help plan a couple of my raids during the CWL as well. So he was really helping me out. And he's just a great guy to sit there and talk strategy with. If one thing's not looking right, then he'll help you find out another way. And for this one, he's doing basically the same thing Pekka Bobat. He made that funnel very precise. He kind of waited on that bowlers because he didn't necessarily want to use, I'm assuming, that Warden's ability over the Town Hall, because if you delay those bowlers slightly, they will be in back of that Town Hall, so the Giga Tesla explosion won't necessarily be right on it. And then from there, he's just got some well-timed free spells to keep those bats alive. He lost a couple here and there, and it actually worked out great that these bats split up on each side of the base, and we're able to take out the defenses around the outside, because that would make the rest of these cleanup troops having such an easier job, whether it was the left or the right-hand side. And, it might not have been planned, that part, but I'm here to tell you that it worked. So there was a triple from our good friend Panda Cubbin, and that was it for day one. The beginning of the CWL, was actually pretty tough. We had I don't know if we just weren't like hitting it as hard as we could, or we had a one star, I believe, and it was just I don't know, but we found our vibe around day 4, and we just started going ham. I mean, we really did. And to start off day 2 triples, we're going to give Liam here the spotlight. And look at his bowler bounce funnel that he did at that 3 o'clock. Just... oh, Lord have mercy. Where do I go with this? I'm not even worthy of commentating this because it's just so good. Anyway, so he's doing the same thing as we saw in the last attack. He's doing a queen walk into a kill squad charge. I'm going to use that. And then he rages over that town hall, which is perfect because then he's going to jump spell into the core there. And again, look at this base in the center. What do you see? You see that little moat, right? And now what is that queen having access to? Everything. I mean, the most important structures that you need to defend a Pekka Bobat attack is exposed to the center kill squad. And just taking advantage of a base that is not worthy, Liam. That is what you did here. That was an incredible raid, and that kill squad getting into the funnel. I mean, that funnel for that kill squad to get into the core there was absolutely perfect, and that is exactly why that was a huge triple, is because that kill squad had such good value in taking out all the structures that you needed. And now we have Hangover. Now Hangover, I'm telling you, this guy has some insanely good attacks. I'm gonna tell you right now. For this one, for starters, is going to be a Pekka Bobat. And, again, we see kind of, you never want to go cheap on the Pekka Bobat funnels, just because if you can get the entire kill squad on a good funnel into the core of that base, a lot of times you're going to get that triple. I mean, if that kill squad doesn't wander on you and is able to stay in the inside of these bases, the point of the Pekka Bobat is for these high hit point structures and the bowler bounces to bounce and take out as many of those key defenses in the center, as far as like the multi-target Infernos, the Giga Tesla, the Eagle Artillery, the Heroes, and the CC, right? And then from there, you want your bats to clean up the ring around, like the Archer Towers, the Hidden Teslas, the Cannons, etc., to keep that kill squad alive when they push through the other side of the base. So, that is a prime example of that exact formula working out 100% right for him. And I meant that by 100% because he got a 3-star. And yeah, so that was the end of day 2. That was one of our very tough wars. We only had 2 triples and they had 1, and then we had a 1-star. So it was extremely close. Now here we have M2, and M2 again was a very, all of these clans, I can't say any of these guys were just a free win. Except for one, just because they were all weird. It was this Turkish clan, and I'll show you. We ended up getting 8 triples against them. But this one, here we go. We've got Hangover, and he actually wrote out this game plan for this, and it was just perfect. He wall breakered in to that town hall compartment area, and then from there it was just right on the outside of that tornado. But I mean that queen had access to the town hall and that single target inferno. I'm sorry, I think I might have said multi-infer. But it was a single target inferno, which scared him even more because that locked onto the queen. And then another thing is, look, there's a baby dragon there in the enemy CC, which is doing a lot of damage against those loons around the outside pathway. So, I mean, just being observant of that, and like those lava pups coming through. I don't know if you to take out that baby dragon. I don't know if you guys saw that he actually brought a couple skeleton spells in there to distract the queen, because the queen is so far, he wasn't going to get that with that kill squad or with that queen charge, or the Sui Queen and Sui King. So he needed to bring a couple skeleton spells, which actually comes in super clutch, because all those skeletons are huge help for the cleanup. Absolutely excellent. All right, now here's another familiar face, right? Everyone who is a Clash of Clans fan, I'm sure, has seen SG's face, because he was another member of Just Ordinary that was in Poland for the $1 million qualifier. And he is going to be doing a Kill Squad hog raid. I'm not saying this is my favorite, but we all know I love some Kill Squad hog raids, right? So, I mean, look at this funnel that he got, using those bowler bounces to make such a good funnel. And then from there, he's got his Kill Squad on a super easy path into that Town Hall, using the Warden's ability over the Town Hall, uses the Poison spell on the enemy CC, and then jump spells into the core there. And then, again, look what that Kill Squad has access to. He did bring a couple freezes for that Eagle Artillery, which is an extremely smart move, because one, it's going to save those hogs on the beginning of this raid, and two, it's going to give the queen enough time to get into that town hall area for the queen to take out the town hall. So, I mean, just top tier planning. And if there's one thing I know about SG, it's that this guy can plan a base like no other. He will sit there with you for hours, and I'm not joking when I say hours, guys. I am telling you, he will sit there for hours and discuss strategies and the right game plays. And this guy is a beast, and his brain is a Clash of Clans, champion. It should go in the Hall of Fame. So, yeah, make sure SG, heaven forbid the time ever comes where you pass, we're donating your brain to the Clash of Clans Hall of Fame. Now we have Mr. Wallace, and we all know who Mr. Wallace is, right? That's Ares. And Ares, man, this guy, he puts up some clutch attacks. This is a very good example. He is making a very good path for a queen charge using wall breakers for the first part. Notice how that Inferno compartment has an open wall there, which I'm not exactly sure why he had, because look at everything that queen can hit. She can take out a multi-target Inferno, the enemy CC, the enemy Queen, and Eagle Artillery, because it's only two-tile moat. And then from there, he's just got the Wall Wrecker, who's going to push through into the center there with a bunch of miners. And he's actually using 2 P.E.K.K.A.s on the outside for the funnel. Notice how he suied the king to make sure that Queen was going to get a proper funnel in there. So we didn't really have a proper way of getting a funnel for the miners to stay in the core of this base. So he used 2 P.E.K.K.A.s. Just some things that you don't think about, and 2, you don't see much. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to show you guys kind of some think outside the box ordeals. Clash of Clans attacking strategies are endless, and we get caught up in a lot of the raids that we feel comfortable with. And this is here to kind of get you some top tier gameplay out of the box. Now, this is that war I was telling you about. This was the war where we decided it was time to play, right? And we outscored them 8-0 triples. Okay, now this is a Turkish clan, and there's no other way of saying it besides the fact that we just decided to go ham. I will say this, probably 10 out of the 15, if not more, of these bases, their town halls were on the outside. They were I don't know how to explain it, but they were like trap bases. Honestly, they were like super trap bases with town halls on the outside. So basically, it's just a great idea to send in your kill squad on the town hall, or Sui your heroes on the town hall, and then jump spell into the core, which we're witnessing Ka do live, or not live, obviously, but it is being done right before our eyes. And yeah, this kill squad just pushes straight through the town hall area, which I'm sure this defender did not plan on doing. They were trying to trick that to not do that. And yeah, and then from there, he used that stone slammer with the loons, and then he's got bats just dominating the top, I want to say, third of the base, just with a couple free spells. And then just overpowered. Look at this, guys. Look at the troops and the queen's health and the bats and the balloons and the OP. Cause he is an extremely great attacker, and that was seen at first hand. All right, now we have Zeus, and oh boy, Zeus, he got me here on this one. I'm gonna tell you, I did this base before Zeus, even if he might not say it. I did, but I said, you know what, Zeus, I'm gonna give up me having this triple, so you'll have yours, okay? And he was super appreciative of it, and he was like, "Thank you, D3 or Dalton. I'm really thankful for you letting me have this base because he needed a triple, right?" I'm just giving you guys a hard time. Well, I did actually did it beforehand, but just good teamwork and strategizing it out. He loves this base, so he ended up just owning it and getting it done. And this queen charge, he's going to be at 50% before he sends in the majority of the kill squad, or the majority of the rest of the attack, right? Look at this. He's literally at 45% before he sends in the loons, the Lalo portion of this raid. That queen's going to take out, I can't even count everything that she took out. I'm sorry. I'm just going to let that one go. But he finishes up with this Lalo just taking out half of the base because that's all that's left, Saves a couple loons for the backhand side traps. It's a single Inferno, so he doesn't have to worry about that Inferno taking out all the loons. And, hey, let's swag that Warden's ability, right? So, you're welcome, Zeus, for giving that base up. No, that was excellent attack, man, and I'm super proud of that one. Now, here's Godblin again, looking at these bases, these Town Hall on the outside trap bases. They're tough. You can't say that they're easy. Also, you cannot say that they're easy because no one has bases like this, so you don't practice on them. You know what I mean? It's like they're literally trap bases, and if you're not lucky, you're gonna get caught. Like right there, if that queen didn't have her ability, it could have been bad news. And he's gonna start this raid with 2 E-Dragons on a rage spell, which, as you know, is gonna take out basically any defense in the game, basically any structure in the game, except for maybe one. But if you have 2 E-Dragons raged, look, you're at, and Isui, the heroes on that town hall, he has got only 50% of this base to take out, being that he took out 2 Infernos and the town hall. And an air defense or 2 or 3, just, oh man, the brain and imagining this and having the vision for that is exactly what we're looking for in Just Ordinary, and that Godblin has been here to show us exactly what that's about. And Godblin has such a variety of attacks, man. Whether it's, I've seen him do just about it all. E-Clone Lalo, the P.E.K.K.A. Bobats, I've seen him do Hog. Literally, the list goes on and on. Yeah. So now we have the Hall of Fame brain. And actually, give me. I'm gonna take some credit here, okay? I'm gonna take some credit here. I attacked this base for the triple before SG, and he copied mine. Okay? I'm only gonna give myself a little bit of credit every once in a while, okay? And I'm gonna give myself some credit here. So this was a raid, and we'll see in just in a little bit. It was actually number 15, I believe, and the defenses were a little bit lower. And it was, if you guys want me to be honest, it was my first live attempt in a war for P.E.K.K.A. Bobat. And it mimics the exact replay that you're seeing here. Basically, I queen walked at the 6 o'clock into about the 4:30, and then I funneled the kill squad from that 3 o'clock into that 4:30 alley, straight through the side of the base, or straight through the middle of the base. And I think the key on this raid was making sure that wall wrecker made it into that town hall. So that's why you saw me use my warden's ability early, because I wanted that wall wrecker to make it to that town hall, and the other troops were going to get in front of that and then move from there. Yeah, so here we go. We got, oh boy, we have got another person who was in Poland for the qualifiers for Just Ordinary. We have Nakata, and this guy, you know, he performs. When he needs to perform, he performs. And he's doing that right here by doing a queen charge with a jump spell. Like I've said before, you don't see a lot of queen charges with the jump spell, but if you get proper funneling, whether that's Sui and the heroes are using a cheap funnel or an expensive funnel, you know, as long as you can get that funnel and make it worth it for that queen to get into that core there, using a jump spell, that's huge. Because, I mean, you save your siege for more important things along the raid. And this is a very good example. From here, he did a Lalo from the 3 o'clock going counterclockwise. And notice the slim row of defenses along from that 3 o'clock to the 6 o'clock. I mean, the balloons had just a straight path. Didn't even have to veer. I mean, she didn't even need to use a haste spell. You know what I mean? Like, they were just right on path, and obviously those defenses weren't going to take out those loons fast enough, and I'm going to say he swagged that rage in that last compartment. He did not need that. But let's be better safe than sorry and secure that triple to make sure that we're getting that. And now we have the almighty Zeki-chan. Now this guy, one of the most reliable attackers I can say in Just Ordinary. He is going to start by suing the heroes on that town hall. And that was one thing that we kind of noticed with these town hall and the outside bases. It was extremely smart to just send an ice golem in so that ice golem will tank for those hidden Teslas and that Giga Tesla whenever that thing pops. And I mean, it's just perfect. And then from there, he's going to E-clone into that compartment right there using Stone Slammer. And look at the value that E-drag had, man. I mean, just that chain, I think it chained like 4 times in a row and just took out defense. And then he's left with, you know, maybe 60% left of the base with a full Lalo. I mean, it's great. It's genius, and that's Zach right there. And I mean, yeah, these loons just pushing through. He's got a single target Infernal on that entry side by the town hall, which is going to be easy for these loons. I mean, look at the lava pups and the hounds. Oh wait, let's swag that freeze real quick, right? Let's swag that freeze. I mean, Zeki-chan on a new level right there, whole new level. I will say it is quite annoying having to skip through that. You know, you place this, blah blah blah. All right, so now we got Panda Coven, and you know we've already discussed his worth. And you know this base, you know, looks a little familiar, right? It's got that town hall on the outside, and then basically everything else on the inside. This is kind of a more rushed town hall 12. You know, just looking at the walls and the defenses. So it was definitely a interesting Town Hall 12 raid, but he did basically the same thing as what we saw in the other one, and that's going to be an Stone Slammer E-clone with the E-drags and a clone spell into the core there, which is going to take out, you know, a couple air defenses, the enemy queen, the eagle artillery, and then he suied the heroes on the town hall. So what's left? You know what I mean? I'll tell you what's left. The only thing that's left is an easy Lalo, and I'm not gonna. Well, I'm sorry. I take it back. I don't think any Laloing is easy, but for these players, it is an easy Lalo. They did it extremely well with the Swag Warden's ability. So Panda Cub in there on a huge triple, making that score just go up number by number. I don't know if you guys see this, but you know, up here on the top of the leaderboards, you're getting clans like, I mean, the air defense going just, I mean, they're in the matter of a few stars will guarantee you, you know, like maybe a 5 span of spacing of rankings at the end of it. Now here we go. This is myself, and yeah, guys, you know, it's a rush Town Hall 12. I get it, okay, but I'm still proud of it. I made sure, like I said, I used that Warden's ability early to make sure that that wall wrecker is going to make it in that town hall area, which means that the main kill squad is just going to have a easy pathway to get through the rest, and then a couple of good freeze spells, and yeah, I mean, this was my first P.E.K.K.A. Bobat. Like, I'm not kidding you, this was my first P.E.K.K.A. Bobat that I did in a war raid, and it ended up being very successful, so I like this. I'm kind of seeing the similarities between a Kill Squad Hog Attack and like a P.E.K.K.A. Bobat. You basically want the same pathing, and between the bats, you know, just substitute the bats and the hogs. You know, it just depends on what you wanna use. Yeah, and obviously some other differences as well, but this was all right. We're on to the next day, guys. HBH, and we ended up with a few triples. If you guys saw that, a few, and we'll take that. And we have got VA starting it off with, I mean, just an insane, I mean, like, it's really hard to fathom, you know, like, sitting there looking at a max Town Hall 12 and looking at a base and saying, like, oh, you know, I want to put this here, and I want to queen charge, jump spell into the core of this base with no obvious easy funnel, and just have a ton of value. So, I mean, it's incredible, and this is a VA is showing us how it's done right here, taking out the enemy CC, the enemy queen, the multi-target Inferno, and then she's still just going to be going at it. She has only one Expo locked on her right now, and then he's going to send some cleanup troops around the outside just to make sure that the you know, that he's not going to time fail, and then he's going to just mass Lalo the front end of this town hall of this raid. You know, he waited till that 60% or 50%, I'm pretty sure, for that town hall to be activated so that those loons are just gonna go in there and dominate. Now, you know, this Stone Slammer is lasting all the way to the last section of this raid, so we almost got the OP title, but he actually needed that Stone Slammer to bust so that he could haste those last couple freezes, or the last couple haste those loons into that last multi-target Inferno. Wow, that was I butchered that one up, but we're going to roll with that. We're going to roll with that, okay? All right, so now we have Liam, and Liam is going to be doing the same P.E.K.K.A. Bobat type strategy, right? He's going to boulder bounce to help the funnel. He's going to send a baby dragon as the other funnel, and then he's going to send a baby dragon on the backhand side to make this base just extremely vulnerable to a huge kill squad. So, I mean, he's basically got a kill squad going from the 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock area. He has taken out 32% of this base without taking out any major defenses. So, this is huge, right? This is huge. And now he's got the kill squad that is going to be strategically placed to jump into that one compartment to get that Eagle Artillery and that Queen. From there, the bats are just going to go around accordingly, easy money. And notice that Ice Golem at the 4 o'clock distracting that Wizard Tower. That is something that has just been an insanely incredible idea, and that was a perfect execution of distracting to make sure those bats are going to stay up, to clean those defenses out around the rest of the space. I mean, guys, count how much troop space that is right there, and let me know in the comments that was swagged on that base, because I mean, I couldn't even tell you where it's at, but definitely close to the 200s, I'd imagine. And now we have our one of our players from Poland, as I've mentioned, Nakata, and he is going to be doing a Queen Charge Miner. And notice his Queen Charge is going to be with, you guessed it, a jump spell. Now, look at the placement on this jump spell to make sure that he gets into that core and is going to be able to hit that town hall, right? Look at that. Making sure that he had a perfect funnel with that king on one side and then the other funnel troops on the other, and then jump straight into that town hall area. And then from there, you know, even though it's a minor attack, That tornado trap was taken out by that queen being unharmed. I mean, look at her right now. She's unharmed. She pulls the enemy CC right there and uses that queen's ability extremely fast to get rid of that Eagle Artillery, because that Eagle Artillery was staying up a lot longer than what he'd wanted and was starting to target those miners. And, just an extremely smart move to detonate that queen's ability early and securing those miners and their health. And I mean, look, that queen's gonna stay up almost to the end of the raid. You guys see this? You guys see that Stone Slammer right there, right? That is an OP attack. Stone Slammer lasts all the way into the end. And let's everyone round applause on that one. That was insane. All right, now it's your boy Godblin, right? And he actually took advantage of this trophy style base, and I wouldn't even say this is a CWL base. This is like a straight up anti-2 trophy base. And one thing I will say, I have done my fair share of pushing. I've done quite a lot of pushing, if you guys didn't tell by my profile. But the best way to attack an anti-2-star base is to go at the most awkward point. Do a charge into the most awkward point. Now, if you notice, like on this base, it is designed for someone to either attack from the 3 o'clock or the Town Hall heavy side. No one is expecting to go in from either the 12 o'clock or the 6 o'clock area. And one, it's because it's kind of a tough funnel, but two, it's the path of least resistance. It is a pathway of which the kill squad is going to go in basically unharmed. And this was a good example. That wall wrecker made it all the way into that Town Hall. If you went from any other angle besides the 6 o'clock, that wall wrecker would not have made it into that Town Hall. And, those bats did their job on the backhand side, which was able to clean up that single Inferno and a couple other defenses to ensure that 3-star. And that's how it's done. Godblin showing us how it's done on anti-3, anti-2 trophy bases. I mean, it's I don't want to say it's lit, because I really don't like using that. I feel like I'm too old to actually use that term. But Godblin, man, that was lit. All right, guys, A-Team. This was we thought was going to be our hardest war. The last 2 days were the hardest wars of the CWL in our league. A-Team actually placed, I think, 82 last season. They went undefeated, or I don't know if they went undefeated, but they won their league last season, and we were expecting a good fight here. And they actually did put up a good fight. I actually had a 1-star defense, which helped us out a lot. Obviously, we still would have won just because of how many triples we got, but it was reaffirming to see that my 1-star defense actually helped out. So, and now, obviously we're a little bit into the raid, but Zaki Chan is going to be doing a queen charge over the Town Hall, taking out the enemy CC, and then jumping into the not the core, but like the side compartment, because you know what he wants to do is he wants to eliminate a third of the base just with the queen. And if you do the maths, do those mathsy deals, and you see like the queen takes out a third of the base, you've got a king taking out basically a third of the base, and then you have the miners just gonna go. They have a straight path, a straight wide set path. And he's got basically a hybrid, because he's got hogs in there as well. And just like the miners had a direct path to the opposite side. So he has the queen making it all the way to the other side, the miners making it all the way to the other side, and the king making it all to the other side. Absolutely everything that you could have asked for in that raid, and perfect planning. Now we've got Artemis, or Wen. Guys, there's a few people where I will simply admire their attacks, okay? Wen is someone who takes this game into the form of art. He is a person that will turn a Town Hall 12 triple raid into something that is more than just a raid. This is art. I'm not kidding you guys. His raids are just so precise. They are so well performed, and there's no other way of saying it, but they're just overpowered. This guy, notice what he did with that E-Drag Stone Slammer E-Clone. He took out, I think it was 55% of the base before he dropped the Lalo over the Town Hall, And then look at how many spells and troops he has left over, guys. This was a raid that I watched live that I don't think I'll ever forget, just because of I felt this raid. You know what I mean? I watched this raid and I felt it. I knew that was going to be an insane raid that I'm going to remember, and I am. So we'll actually see a few more of his. Maybe not all in this video, but we will see a couple more of his raids. Now we have Liam, and Liam, dropping trips like it's nobody's business. He's dropping triples like hello. I mean, easy. And he actually, I actually helped run through the plan with him on this one, but basically he did a queen walk into a kill squad, and notice he's got a baby dragon funnel on the outside. He queen walked from that 3 o'clock over all the way over to the town hall area, and notice how he was so precise on where that queen was gonna charge. And sorry for the text message, we were in an extremely hard ward that I will recap later in Black Wars. So I apologize ahead of time for that, but I only had one time to raid, and this was now. So back to Liam's attack. Like, this kill squad had so much value going into the core there. I mean, look at this, and the wizard tower, or the inferno towers are distracted. The wizard towers, I mean, the kill squad, the P.E.K.K.A. bowlers in the center there are just going ham. And if it weren't for this P.E.K.K.A. right here taking out that last inferno, I mean, it wouldn't have been a triple. I think that P.E.K.K.A. came in real clutch because it was a very close on a time fail. And Liam, I mean, just showing how a queen walk into a kill squad charge into a P.E.K.K.A. bow bat is done right there. That, I mean, you'd have to put up a drawing board and actually figure out how to attack some of these raids with some of the minds that go behind this. All right, and then from here we have Ka again. This is another player that I just am a pleasure to be in the clan with, and he's going to be doing close to the same idea, except for this. I don't know if I've ever seen a raid have this much of a queen charge value. I'm going to be honest, okay? He uses that king, suicides the king to basically take out all the defenses and other trash structures along that outside, to where this queen is going to get a hold of the oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start with this one. It gets a hold of the enemy CC, the enemy queen, takes out the town hall, jump spells into the core, and is going to Lalo about the same time to take out the defenses and then send up some cleanup minions on the backhand side. Now the queen, I mean, just got into this core there and was able to take out probably the most defensive structures, and that's the Giga Tesla and that Eagle Artillery and the Queen and the enemy CC. I mean, if you don't take those main things out, you're gonna have a very tough raid. If you don't take those out earlier, you're gonna have a very tough raid. And Ka is the mastermind behind that one. Just great. And now we have SG Hall of Fame Brain. I'm hoping that sticks because I love referring to him as that already. I haven't even told him that in person yet. But you heard it here first, guys. Dalton D3T on YouTube with SG, the Hall of Fame Brain. I'm going to love to see what people have to say about that one. All right, now here he is suiciding the heroes. And notice the layout that he's got actually inside of his troop composition, right? So he is going to be doing a E-Drag hybrid Lalo into this one. He suicided that king and queen to take out those defenses to make sure that E-Drag and that Stone Slammer are going to go straight into the core. Now look at what was taken out with the E-Drags in that core. You got the Eagle Artillery out, you have got the enemy queen out, you've got a multi-target Inferno, and then from there the chain, I mean, you're at 50-something% as the town hall was activated and the Lalo starts. I mean, and then from there, these late heal spells on Lalos are probably the most clutch and important things I've seen on Lalos recently. I mean, as you can see, he had just a ton of spells just to say, hey, your base was whack, and I dominated it, so I'm going to throw a couple extra haste spells on the final stretch of that raid, and man, was that beautiful. That was SG Hall of Fame Brain. Man, this was such a fun CWL, guys. I'm still wishing we were in it because we just had such a great time. All right, now we have VA, and this base, obviously it's a underdeveloped Town Hall 12, but still kind of a tough layout. And we're showing a variety of attacks, right? So we're gonna show you guys a insane bat drag attack. He's using wall breakers to open up that first level 9 wall, and then he's gonna freeze the Town Hall to make sure that Queen gets that Town Hall, because you definitely need that Town Hall to go out for the rest of this raid to happen. From there, he's just gonna do, basically a big drag dump on the 3 to 4 o'clock section of this base, which is going to have a huge value because those drags just slowly but surely taking things out as those balloons are in front taking. Those bats actually ended up going from about the 9 o'clock, taking out a few defenses. Definitely wasn't the same value that he wanted, I feel. There was a few defenses I'm sure that he wanted to get to in order to finish that with the bats, but nonetheless, having that many bats on this base was just gonna overpower it anyway. So there's nothing else you can say for that one. So that put an end to A team and ended up with 6-0 triples. And that, like I said, they placed 82nd, and we knew that was gonna be a tough war. And then we had this war, which we thought was also gonna be either the toughest or the second toughest. And these guys, they had some hard bases, I'm not going to lie, and you're going to see. And we've got Ka open it up on against their number 1, and he's going to be suiciding the king on the enemy king, and then also notice that wizard. That wizard is the MVP of this raid right here. That wizard took out that air defense. Those wall breakers ended up breaking that wall, which is going to access that compartment, and that Queen's just going to take out all of that compartment. The CC was a witch, which is no help it's no problem for the poison spell. And then literally he's just gonna keep. Look at that 2-tile moat that has access straight to that Eagle Artillery, and then the charging Queen is jump spelled into the core even more, which is gonna take out the enemy Queen. You got the loon starting at the 6 o'clock, pushing around the whole base counterclockwise, overpowered, haste spell, just going crazy. They're insane. And then notice what he did with the Stone Slammer. If he didn't save that Stone Slammer for the backhand part of this raid, I'm sure it would have been close. I think it would have been very close with that Giga Tesla raining down on those loons. But that's exactly why he saved it, right? To Sui that Stone Slammer on the Town Hall, and he even had the loon stay up after it was after the Giga Tesla went down. So incredible attack. JD9. Now, guys, this is a base that we have seen a lot this CWL. I'm not kidding you. I think it was in almost every war of ours, and it was in a couple side wars in Black Rose as well. And JD cracked it. He phenomenal raid. He used the king he suied the king to ensure the Queen charge funnel. Also did the P.E.K.K.A. on the 3 o'clock side to ensure the funnel as well. Sends in a couple hogs just to take out those defenses, making sure that Queen's going to go into the core of this. Poison spells the 2 dragons. The Queen actually ends up breaking through that wall there. And then the Queen, look at what she has access to in the core there. She has access to that Eagle Artillery, which is just huge. So from there, JD9, he's just a genius, right? Uses the jump spell all the way on the backhand side of this raid to get to that Town Hall. What? And then, I don't know if you guys missed it already, and I did a bad job in commentating there, but he hogged the whole rest of that side of the base, which is just a straight shot for those hogs. And he actually sent in the Warden with those hogs because he was expecting those hogs to go down to that Town Hall at the backhand side of this raid. But he didn't even need it. And he's going to swag that rage spell, because that was one of the most thought out and well planned raids of this CWL on a base that even we had trouble cracking, but JD9 was here to represent, and that's his name's Matt, by the way, and that Matt, incredible, right? Now here we go, we got Godblin, And Godwin and Liam actually put up the most triples this CWL. Notice his timing with the wall breakers there. He did a wall breaker test to make sure, and look, did you see what was there? There was a small mine. So it wouldn't have worked if he would have sent all the wall breakers in at the same time. You got to make sure you test that wall breaker fails, and there's no small mines on the backside. He suicides that queen on the town hall, but she's actually still up and is going to take some other structures out along the way before she goes down. And then he's going to stone slam E-clone the E-drags into the core there, which is going to take out that enemy queen, 2 multi-target infernos, and almost that Eagle artillery. But that is all right because the Lalo portion of this, he's got perfectly spread out Lalo, which is going to be a easy pathway, extra spells here and there. Got a couple extra loons to help on that cleanup. You know, that's one of the biggest things is make sure that you save. If you guys are doing Lalos, you need to make sure that you save a loon or two for the backhand side of these raids, because I'm telling you, I've seen it, and I've seen it live, where there is a troll Tesla that will cause you a 99% time fail, and you know, I'm not going to say any names, and I don't want to put anyone on the spot there, but it might have happened in Poland, and it was so close, and should have been a triple. It was overpowered, but just a dumb troll Tesla was what ruined the raid. Here you go. We got Artemis. Now here we go. Here is another raid that I told you was not just a raid. It is art, right? Now he sues the queen and the king to make an E-drag funnel go straight into that Eagle artillery area, which, tell me guys, what does that have access to? The enemy CC, the enemy queen, the Eagle artillery, multi-target infernos. Look at what's left on this raid, guys. He took out 2 multi-target infernos, the Eagle artillery, enemy CC, enemy queen. Literally the only thing that was left on this raid was 1 multi-target inferno and the Giga Tesla. I mean, besides all the point defenses, you know, the Expos, yeah, they're heavy hit point, whatever. Backhand heal spell to ensure that those loons are not going to go down on the backhand side. Just, I mean, it's incredible. Just incredible, right? Excellent raid, Artemis, or when you, you performed. You were in a few of the war days, and I think you tripled every one, I want to say. If not, you did 2 out of the 3, so excellent raids, man. We're extremely happy and proud to have you here. So, win on another 100% artistic raid there. Guys, we're almost done. We only got 2 more triples to show off, and that's the end of our CWL recap. But I am going to start here with mine. This was a new attack strategy for me, and I suied heroes and E-clone Mass Hog. I'm going with that. All of those words is what I did, okay? So I put the king and the queen so that I tried to make it so that they would split up, and they actually end up splitting up, which was actually really cool. And then that queen is just going to take out, a lot of these trash structures, a few defenses along the way. And then I'm going to stone slam E-drag into that compartment where that Eagle artillery and that queen is, rage those E-drags, and they're just going to take out defenses, take out traps. It's just going crazy. And then I'm going to send in, strategically my hogs as they go. I used a poison spell over that gap right there because I saw there were skeleton traps hurting my hogs, and I didn't want any of them going down. Troll Tesla at the top there, but did you see I saved a couple hogs for the back end side of this raid? And, I mean, literally, just look at how much overpowered those hogs are. I'm pretty sure all those hogs are at full health, and I'm sure I only lost a couple. I had a couple goblins to clean up, and then that was, just easy money. And from there, it was, it was one of my favorite raids that I did this CWL. I had a lot of fun doing it, and, it was a little bit of experimentation with that E-drag clone, and had a lot of fun. Now we're into the last raid, and it's going to be Vanded. And this base actually looks pretty familiar, right? That's because you might have seen it on the Galadon's recap of Just Ordinary. And This was just a excellent raid by Vandit, and he actually did a different style raid than he did on the Galadon recap. And yeah, this is he's using that E-drag to get into the core and electron the rest of that base. And then from there is just going to be a super easy pathway for these Sui heroes. And notice that queen. Look at that queen having that funnel by that king to get to that town hall. So he Sui's the queen on that town hall. I mean, just you don't see that, man. This is top tier gameplay. This is what gets you right up in that top section, right? So I mean, perfect raid. Vandit doing an incredible job here. And that's going to wrap up our CWL recap, guys. That's it. We made it. We made it all 50 minutes long into the CWL recap. We showed off 33 triples. We showed off all sorts of varieties of attacks. We represented Just Ordinary again. And, invites have not been sent out yet, but we're hoping that we're going to get it. And I mean, this was probably one of my favorite CWLs yet, and we ended up with 312. So